The Norwegian method.
I'm Gustav, 3 times world champion.
I'm Kristian, Olympic and 3-time world champion.
I'm Dr David Lipman, a health and human performance specialist. And welcome to the Norwegian Method podcast.
The Norwegian Method. The Norwegian Method.
Welcome back to the Norwegian Method podcast. Joining me today, the Norwegian hype train, the podium from today, a couple of hours post-race. Thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate it, given all the fatigue and all the other things.
A couple hours post-race, but I'm still in my tri-suit.
Yeah, I did notice that. I wasn't going to say anything. We've probably only got you top up. So,
and he doesn't smell good.
Yeah.
No, he's not smelling good.
It's a mix between sweat, pee, and the
Sports drink.
Yeah, a lot of things, I think.
I was looking at you as you were running, like you were like taking down to your ass. I was wondering if you had a shit because you were like adjusting.
No, it was actually super annoying because I had my GPS tracker falling down.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was on your hip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was super annoying. But this was a strange intro to the podcast. But did you have any questions for us, David?
How are you? I mean, that's the most important question. You guys have just come off Norwegian TV, as I understand it. You've got, a huge day, obviously emotional in all the ways. Like, how are you feeling at the moment?
Tired.
Hungry?
It hurts in my stomach.
and tired.
Yeah.
But also like relieved, It's been 10 months building towards this race, and to perform like we did is quite amazing, Like it's it's some responsibility on all the three of us. Like when we decided to go and create this sort of training group again, and to be able to perform when it's really matter is amazing.
Yeah. I was just going to ask about that. Like, we talk a bit about legacy, and we were talking the other day about Norway, and like now you have a Norwegian podium. Like, it's huge. It's obviously not the first time that a country has swept the podium, but it's Norway. That's huge.
Yeah, and I think it's the first time with one training group and coaching each other. And I feel like the Norway aspect is, of course, kind of crazy, but I feel like it's more crazy that we kind of did it together. And I wouldn't, of course, say no help, but because we have still a big team around us. But day to day, it's basically has been just us three in training camp and really targeting this race. So special.
Yeah. And more proud of each other or of your own races?
I'm very proud of my race, but I'm also proud of all three of us. Like we've been talking about it in training. Like, wouldn't it be like so cool if we took the 1, 2, and 3 here? So we've been talking about it many times, and like, you always want to like win yourself, but like do it as a team is like really special. So
I feel like I kind of talked it down a little bit, especially sometimes, but because in Frankfurt I felt like I was still so far behind. So to be able to back it up and finish on the podium for myself, I'm also super proud of. And also for Casper to win his first World Championship title, to be on the World of Champions and have a free hotel room next year, it's nice.
As I just said to some of the journalists out there, like it's actually quite easy to become Ironman world champion once, but it's apparently more difficult to get it twice. So
next year is a true test then in Hawaii. Then all of us has done it before, and then let's do it,
It's only you that done it on Hawaii before.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter where, I think.
Yeah.
We have 3 different locations.
That's also pretty special.
Yeah. That is cool. Yeah. That's really cool. I can tell you, I was in the crowd watching a bunch of friends, family, Norwegians all get very sentimental. So I wanted to start off with the pod with that. But I think let's get into the stuff that the listeners want to hear. How'd the race pan out? Like, we saw a bunch of stuff happen, and we'll get to the run. But let's hear about the swim and the bike.
I actually had an okay start to the swim, but faded. I was a bit afraid of that happening because going into Fontomeux, I had like slight shoulder pain, and I feel like my swimming in Font hasn't been that great. Some okay days, but mostly it's been a little bit further behind Kristian and Casper than what I would have liked. But in the end, it was okay.
Well, you came into T1 looking the most relaxed I've ever seen anyone look in a triathlon. You were jogging through, sipping some water, looking so relaxed.
Yeah, when I kind of settled down a little bit further back, like I was saying to myself before I start, like go a little bit hard in the start, but settle in and don't stress with the pack you're in, because I don't feel like stressing helped my swimming. So I was kind of relaxed towards the end, and I had a fast run in transition, and the plan was to chug 80 grams of sugar, but it was not that far from the bag to the bike, so I just had to really drink it all. But in the end, I only had maybe like 60 grams in transition.
Okay. And how did you feel coming out of the swim? How was your swim, Casper?
It was quite good. So I were in the front pack. But it was hard at times. So I were like really thinking about, should I stick to the group or not? But Jamie and the other guys put really pressure on the boys. So every time we turned, it seemed like they were sprinting out of them. So I was like, oof. But then it got slower after 1 or 2 minutes. So then I just stayed there, and in the end of the swim, a lot of guys came past me. But then I was just like thinking, okay, they can sprint. We are soon done. So
You must have used a bit time to put on the calf sleeves.
I were fickling a bit with it in the start. So then I saw you, and then we went out to the bike together.
Yeah, because you had 50 seconds, 45 seconds.
Yeah, so I sat down and took them on, and weren't so fast. So.
It's a bit interesting how hard people finish the swim. Like when they see the shore, then everyone is sprinting. Like that's interesting. It's better to kind of not slow down, but kind of keep the pace and then run faster. No, that's what I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I would never done that myself. So and also in the swim, when you are on a line and it's like going pretty fast, and people are going up on your hip and not thinking like, okay, this could potentially break the line, and the guy that I'm going to the hip at can get lactic acid to the roof and then drop the feet, and then we lose the group. And people do that all the time. I don't know how it is behind, if it's a lot of fighting and they want to just go by, but people just go up on your side and to the hip, and then they are hitting your arm, and we're like, I had so many of that on the swim today, but like, try to be calm.
How are you, KB? I mean, how was your swim?
Yeah, so after like 800 meters, I saw that I had surprisingly Sam Lillo just in front. And it was like opening a small gap, so I had to do a little surge to get up to him. And then I felt like as long as I'm sort of on his feet, I'm sort of safe in terms of the swim/bike. And I was sort of staying on the tail of that first pack on the swim, I think, because it's a little bit difficult to get the overview in the water, until the first lap. And then after like 1900 meters, 2K, Samson sort of went to the side and opened up like a gap towards the first pack, and sort of came on the wrong side of the split. But that was also a little bit like nice that the pace was slowing down a little bit. So then felt that we didn't lose too much time in terms of the pace that we were holding. So 45 or 50 seconds behind, and having like a lot of strong cyclists behind. So I thought that the swim was good.
Yeah, we were talking in T1, and I said, I think you would have all been, if I'd offered you those times and those splits and where you came out of the water, you'd all be happy pre-race. You would have said, yeah, I'll take that.
But it wasn't even Magnus Ditlev in my feet. And
yeah, he was in front of me for sure.
And
Patrik was just with me.
Patrik was there as well. So it was like, even though the first pack was apparently swimming pretty fast, the gaps between the first and second, like, it's not, or those guys in the second pack is maybe normally bigger. And a lot of guys made it into that second pack who's maybe normally not there.
The Norwegian method.
Maurten's hydrogel technology encapsulates carbohydrates, making their gels and drink mix easy to consume and easy on the stomach. With no added colors, flavors, or preservatives, you get exactly what you need and nothing you don't. It's the fuel we rely on both training and to execute on the race day. To get 20% off your next purchase on Maurten.com, simply enter the code TNMS2 at checkout. The code is applicable once per customer on all products except the Maurten bicarb system. Valid until December 31st, 2025.
The Norwegian method.
Let's talk the bike. I mean, that's what everyone's been talking about with this course, right? You've spent a bunch of time here. You've prepped for it. How was it?
Had a controlled start. Saw the others in front of me starting the hill, and I was like, okay, I'm within the group now. I felt fast in the start. Struggling a little bit in the main climb. I saw Casper was quite... it looked like, at least from behind, that he was comfortable in Sam Lillo's wheel.
He pushed hard for some periods, but I felt quite comfortable, and we had done some times up that hill also, so I was surprised how fast we did. But then I weren't pushing so much power either. I think we were pushing like 20 watts lower than we did in training. I don't know why.
Do you know your average power up the climb?
324 or something.
I think I had 334 climbing.
So I was surprised that the power was so low, but the speed was so high. So and then I was thinking, like, when Sam came from behind there, that it was more his job as a home race to get us up to the group. So then I just sat on his wheel, and he got a small gap over the top.
Yeah.
So then I was like,
I knew he was gonna push.
He was pushing, and then I was like, okay, no, he's not gonna get away. So then I pushed to get up to the wheel again, and then it settled a bit down. So I think it was smart to not let him go. Yep. But then after the out and back section, he put the hammer down.
Yeah, that turnaround. Yeah. I was behind Magnus there, and I saw first he had a little gap, and I was like, okay, what are you doing now? And then I had to pass him to try to catch or close your gap first. Yeah. And then you were also trying to close the gap, so I was like totally dead. And then we almost made it back up to Kristian.
Yeah. But it was a bit too hard.
Yeah.
So, and then you just went away. Yeah, sailed away. And then I was thinking like, oh, there the first place went. Bye-bye.
Yeah, there I thought, okay, now I have an easy run for myself.
Yeah.
So, he was putting the hammer. Well, I was expecting him or Magnus to put the hammer on after the dead turn, because when his tailwind is less, drafting benefits, and so I did expect him to sort of try to make a move, because they are all, or both of them is like racing normally for the win, and they are not afraid of using their strength on the bike. So, and
also was the place where it was definitely these motorbikes.
Least.
Yeah, it was almost motorbikes there in between. You had a little bit there. You had quite a lot, actually.
It was one guy filming Sam from behind, so I got a little bit more protected from the wind.
Yeah. I saw you sail away there, and then I was like, this one motorbike is gonna ruin my race. But,
even Sam was like pointing at the camera guy and trying to make him like move away. But yeah, so I was quite surprised. Because I think at that point, before Sam was putting the hammer down, we were like 2:30 behind the front guys, after I had led for like 15 minutes or so. So we lost like 90 seconds when we were just soft pedaling, because I was waiting for them to put the pressure on later. And then he bridged up those 2.5 minutes on Maurten and Jonas and Jamie within the next hour. So we went by Jamie Riddle and Jonas in the last sort of 15-minute climb, and then we caught
me too.
and then we caught Jamie Riddle, Maurten van Drie, like in a technical or in a downhill, in the main downhill. So from there, at that point, I thought that like the guys behind is definitely not going to catch. But then suddenly, as we came in on the last 10k on the promenade, and they were all together again, and it was a run race ahead.
Yeah. And how did you guys find the descending? How did you find? Well, actually,
super fun.
Yeah.
It was nice to. You're not crossing the center line in training as well, but
did you cross the center line?
No, but you'd never trust that car is really keeping their line as well. So even though you're not crossing the center line like in a race, but it's just different when you kind of know that it's not going to be in the traffic. But Ironman, I think I think it's good with the center line rule normally, and this hill also, normally you can do it quite fast without crossing the center line. But it was fun to not have any traffic to worry about.
I felt they were a bit strange to go on the left side of the road after the city there.
Yeah, the one
Then
side,
it were like, a bit sketchy in the corners. So, but you and Nick put a little bit of gap in me in the first downhill, and then I catch them in the 50 minutes uphill, and then in the second downhill they had a small gap, but like not so much as they had. So then I bridge up to them again on the flat, and then I were really surprised that we catch Kristian and the others on the bridge. Then I was like, whoa.
Actually, I saw them in a downhill.
Yeah.
So then I knew I was on a good pace, so that kept me motivating to keep on like riding fast.
But I saw the motorbike in the
in
the horizon or
in the downhill.
Yeah, when we came to the flat before the bridge, then I saw, who is that?
Yeah.
Someone was maybe like got a hammer, and then when I saw Kristian at the bridge, I thought it was just him.
Okay.
So then I thought he has maybe cramped or something, and we're like, oh, that's not good. But then it was the whole group.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, the interesting thing here, sorry, I wanted to ask you a question. I was speaking to a journalist outside, and he mentioned there was a rule around not having as many motorbikes around this year. Did you guys notice that, or not really?
Not really. It was a lot of motorbikes in some sections, and others it was not that many. Okay. But I felt like it was normal amount.
Yeah, I think as long as you don't have a motorbike straight ahead like of the leader, I think it's good that they are flying by, taking some pictures, and then not constant or like not riding 180k with the same people.
Yeah, now it's like totally different dynamic also. In Kona you can have like a long stretch with one motorbike. Here like the longest stretch is the promenade, and it's 6k. Yep. So it's not going to be like a long time behind one motorbike. And you need to broadcast, you need photos, so I think they behaved well today.
And even in the downhill, where you maybe want to have a motorbike in front of you, they were on the left side of the road, so you couldn't really go into their slipstream.
Yeah.
So.
But you're almost riding faster than them in the downhill.
So in some corners, yeah.
In some corners.
Unless you have a Ninja 650.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and for another podcast, the motorbike podcast. But how was the run, boys? Like that was, I think, when the run started, I think a lot of people thought the race was kind of settled. But the reality was like it really started on the run. It was really interesting to see the dynamics change. So let's talk through the run, maybe lap by lap.
Yeah, we had a gap up to Maurten and Laidlow. So I was thinking I will run and catch them. I will run a pace that will catch them like at the turnaround, because I didn't want to pull in the headwind. And I did notice it definitely was a tailwind on the way out. So I was thinking, it's nicer to just be behind there. And then I was running with them. And then, I made some kind of decisions, instinct to run a bit faster. I didn't want to be the last 10k with a fresh Kristian, and I felt like the pace was decent enough for me, so I tried to run the same stride length and the same thing, but just with a higher frequency. And not sure how it paid off in the end. It's very difficult to say, but I'm surprised that Casper was within himself enough to not follow. That was impressive.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that decision, Casper, because you ended up bridging up to the boys. You were on the back there, and we thought, okay, here we are. We've got 3 Norwegians, the other 2 blokes there. Like, this is going to be, Norwegians are going to burn them off, and then it's going to be a race, right? But you at one point dropped back.
I had a poor transition, so I needed to run myself up. Yep. So I managed to get up just before we came out to where the very strong wind was along the promenade. So then we ran together, and then Gustav went faster again. So then I was thinking, now he know that I've been using energy to get up, and he also probably want to put pressure on Kristian and the other guys. So then I felt the pace were not sustainable for me for the whole marathon, and we had just ran 8 or 9k. So then I dropped back, ran 3:30 pace, and just tried to get an easy way as long as possible, since you can feel good for the first 10k and then you can lose the wheels after 20. So I just fueled and ran my own pace, and then I suddenly saw the gap didn't grow any, and suddenly I just gained a lot. So then I thought, okay, maybe they look at each other, or they have start to feel it a little bit, since the pace was quite high. So and when I came up, the pace went quite much down. And then Kristian put me to the front, and then I was like, okay, if I'm going to go to the front, I can just go up to the pace I ran again, like around 3:30. So then I did that, and I got a gap on Gustav, so then I kind of understood that he felt
And then Kristian said, we got a gap.
Yeah, we got a gap. And then,
let's push, you got a gap.
And then I tried to get Kristian to the front after a while, and then he said, then he will come up again. And I was like, oh. So then I just kept running, and then I put a little bit on the gas when we turned around, and we had like the fence on the right side, and ran as close as I could into it. And then I saw or felt like I got a small gap, but then I knew, okay, it's 15k to go. It could be too early. He could maybe play it smart and then run really fast the last 10k, since he know that it will not be easy the last 10k also. So but then I saw the gap growed, and but I was never sure that it will stick to the end. So you never know if you get cramps or you suddenly like get it like this. Yeah. So you never know. And I try to just fuel and be calm.
So at one point you dropped off the back a little bit, Gustav.
Yeah.
So you dropped off the back. I think it was of you, Kristian. I think it was you two together. You dropped off the back of it, and then you came back up to them. Casper, is that correct? Or no?
I dropped when Casper dropped the pace back down again.
And then Gustav came quickly up to me again when I got dropped by Casper.
Okay. So I felt a little bit bad since, as I've said on interviews and everything, that Kristian and Gustav have been carrying me around for basically every session. And then
you've been carrying me, no?
Yeah, but
you've been carrying more than
Kristian has been carrying the boat a lot. And then I said,
collaboration.
Yeah, it's a collaboration. But you've been carrying the boat a lot.
In what way? Like planning training, or are you talking about doing the work
being in the front,
training, being in the front?
Being in the front and pushing, and he's been showing the way for the whole season, I would say. And then I said to him, I can't do all the work. And then I was thinking just straight after, what did I say there? And he would probably we're thinking.
I just told him, well, then Gustav is going to catch back up again.
But then I was thinking, he's been carrying me around for the whole season. And if I say that now, then he will probably think, I've been carrying around for the whole season, so you can take some turns now.
So both of them start complaining when they have to be in the front a bit.
I've never been in the front before. It's a long time since last time. And I was like, whoa, is this how it's going to be? So
Gustav was like picking up the pace in the beginning, and then as it comes a bit like...
but I honestly thought that we're going to kind of secure first and second there, that you were feeling fresh.
Yeah.
So that's that was what I was thinking. And I knew like this pace isn't like sustainable, and I was like thinking to slow down a little bit, but I was just surprised that Casper managed to come up again quite quickly. But I was thinking to kind of secure it, in one way. Well, but it's hard.
3:30 pace is fast.
Yeah, I know, but
and
if you're gonna win, you kind of have to do something about it. And like if I'm gonna beat Kristian, then I can't play into his card and kind of run his easy pace until the last 10k, and then he's gonna smoke us, So it's difficult because in one way it would be nice to just run with the group together for a long time, but then I feel like that's not gonna be my winning move. And I thought Kristian was feeling fresher, and I thought that he was gonna.
I did feel good on the run, I would say, in the beginning, but I think what was cooking me were the fact that the aid station was quite short. Like they were supposed to...
it was like too quickly and then long break.
Yeah, and then also the one before the long break was like you had maybe lots of ice.
Yeah.
And you have 1 cup of water and then 1 cup of Coke.
Yeah.
So you didn't really get much liquid, and it's like, oh, that was all.
Yeah.
And then it was like Thursday for maybe 2.5K or 3K.
Yeah, it was too
You
big of a
didn't
gap.
find your bottle, didn't you?
No,
Or was it you?
I had
It was you.
bottles.
Yeah.
I had so I used bottles like out on each lap, like from the
No, that was also a mistake.
special
for me.
needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then normally I think the aid station is like more evenly spread out and it's easier to get more liquid in.
Yeah.
And there was no reason to not have the second one further to the turn, I think.
No.
Like, it was just very strange placement of the aid stations.
The Norwegian method.
We have been using Plasmaide for the last 18 months, and what I love the most is how it helped me get ready for the hardest sessions. A hard session is tough in itself, but with Plasmaide it just gives me that little bit extra that helps me perform every single time. We use Plasmaide approximately 40 minutes before training and sometimes before flights. After using Plasmaide, I feel like the oxygen is just more available in my muscles. I felt like every single breath is utilized more. Alongside their orange, strawberry and watermelon flavors, Plasmaide have launched a new delicious pineapple citrus flavor. Visit plasmaide.co.uk and use the code NM15 for 15% off your order.
The Norwegian method.
Well, you missed a bottle, is that correct? Pretty early. I think we saw that.
Yeah, I was gonna grab it because me and Kristian have the same Maurten bottles. And then, this is Kristian's and I had to put it back down again. And I couldn't really see mine. So in the second lap, he was like, the guy helping was like pointing clearly down on what's mine.
That's nice of him.
Yeah, it was clear. And then, I know, David, you saw some photos of me.
Oh, we're getting to that. I want to hear more about Kristian's run first. I want to hear what Kristian thinks about this run, because at one point I had this feeling of I'm going to have to ask this question where Gustav was on the front and KB's behind, and Gustav's waiting to see if KB kicks past or something like this. I was worried about this given the Kona dynamics. So talk us through your run, mate.
Yeah, so I felt good in the beginning, I would say. And so the whole lap we did sort of together, the five of us, before Gustav was stretching out the field, and me and him got like a gap on the rest, and he was pushing the pace in the tailwind down to like the 15K mark before we did a dead turn, and did like 5K back again to down to transition. And then he started like asking if I wanted to take turns in the front, and I was like, yeah, I don't feel like I need to, like I don't have the needs to be in the front if you
And
want.
I don't know what you meant about it, but then in my head that meant like you're feeling really good and you're gonna beat me in a sprint.
Yeah, because he asked me after like 4K, like so you're just here to wait for the last 10K.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I'm just jogging with these guys until the last 10K.
Yeah.
So since he asked that question, I thought, yeah, I have my rights on my side to just wait for the last 10K.
Yeah.
And he was the one who was picking up the pace too spicy in the beginning. So yeah, feeling a little bit like mixed feeling with the run, because I felt good coming off the bike. You're always tired after pushing the power for that long, but like compared to Frankfurt, my bike legs or coming off the bike was way better here. So I was expecting to have a good run, but then ending up maybe doing my worst run this season when it's mattered the most. It's a little bit disappointing, but yeah, again, it was good to be able to bring the bronze back home in the last 15K, because that was a real struggle.
I was feeling I was gonna lose it for the team when you guys passed me, and then I saw Layla wasn't that far behind at that point, so I was like feeling the same as you felt in the end.
And with 10K to go, when we had 3 minutes, I think, on Sam Lalo,
Yeah.
then you start thinking like the math, you know, like how much slower can I run without being caught? And then with 5K to go, I think I had 5 minutes on Maurten van Riel. So then you feel quite secure, because then it's like suddenly a 5-minute pace you have to hold in without being caught, because he's probably running 4-minute pace. But then when I was cramping up and I saw like 5:20 or 5:30, then it was, yeah, it was tough. But
How much was it in the end?
I think it was maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
I can tell you that there was an audible yell from numerous people when you cramped up on TV. You could hear it from the crowd, people watching around TVs.
And there was this one dude, like 2K to go. Kristian is 30 seconds behind. I was like, oh damn, because I knew he was kind of dropping back a little bit. I was like 30 seconds behind. Now I actually have to run, and then I tried.
And you got paced by an age
Bart.
grouper.
No. Oh, and also Bart paced me a little bit.
On the final case, when first he tried to sort of pace me, but I didn't have anything to go with, and I was also like starting to feel the cramps, and I had like maybe a 10-meter gap to Gustav. But then Gustav just came by and used him instead, and he
wanted to give up, and I said, "Keep going, mate." And then he ran with me a little bit.
That's awesome.
I hope he had a good run in the end.
Yeah. Well, what happened with the cramping, KB? Just run-of-the-mill cramping. You cramped up and had to keep going.
Maybe a little bit short on liquid overall, but again, like the power I was doing in the climb was pretty. Like with some of the higher I've done in a long distance race, so maybe it was just like the intensity and the workload over time, and maybe also like when I tried to stay with Sam after the dead turn for like 30 minutes, I was also like riding quite hard, so maybe it was just like the overall load. I guess it's normal to feel it a bit like muscular, feel it in the muscles after. But by the end of an Ironman.
Yeah, fair enough. And we'll get to the photo now, Gustav. I just saw a photo. Your friend, our cameraman Roj here, showed me a photo from the Norwegian news of you. I don't know what were you trying to channel KB from last year on the bike? What were you doing?
I wouldn't say I was throwing up as much as I had the bottle in my right hand, and I tried to drink with my left hand. And then the drink was not quite as expected. Like normally the water was first, and then suddenly it was like this hydration thing, and it kind of had like a little bit of bubbles in it. I felt like, and I swallowed it completely wrong, and that just like started like a little bit of a chain reaction. Okay. So I got it like totally wrong down my throat, but then I didn't have any stomach issues at all today. But it was just like, it was not a good timing because at that point I was running with Kristian, and then he got away. I was like, I have to close the gap again now, and then it took forever to close the gap after. So it was more annoying than anything more, I would say.
And where in the race was that? How far in?
This was 8K to go, maybe.
Okay.
Last aid station also, before a long time without aid station.
Oh no.
And I got a little bit of liquid in, and I was like spewing out everything, so... But I luckily had my bottle still in my hand with some liquid, so that was at least, okay.
Very good. All right, gents. So, I mean, the only other questions I had were around, I guess, you race next to Marbella, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's still the plan. And what does training look like between now and Marbella?
No, I think we all have a easy week. Casper is going on a mini vacation, no? You're going to Geilo? No.
No.
Okay.
We have the... Isn't the podcast the 18th?
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
true.
No, I'm gonna say in Bergen.
Okay, I thought you had like a mini thing, no?
I were planning to do, but I can't now.
Okay.
So now we go home.
Yep.
And should we post the spider web?
The training plan.
Yeah,
would be kind of funny.
Yeah, we're gonna every time we're gonna plan the training.
Yep.
Kristian makes a spider web, so that's for the plan for the next weeks.
Cool.
So we were joking about if we all do podium here,
we're gonna start a coaching business.
Coaching, but
and then you're gonna give the spider web to the people.
Yeah, but post the spider web. That would be a funny thing.
Is that the spider web that got you here, or the spider web going forward?
We can show on the phone.
Okay, don't worry about that. We'll get you to send that to Roj. Roj can insert it into the video. He's a talented guy.
It makes sense if you look into the numbers. So then it's sort of but like it's not as
visually pleasing, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like as someone made from like the kindergarten, I guess.
Did you use Microsoft Paint?
A kindergarten with a PhD.
So usually we sit down and eat sushi after swim, and then Kristian takes his iPad and draw the spider web. So
very good. And so you're Spider-Man, and
I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah. What roles do you guys play in the training production?
We are.
He's Jen?
No, I'm Uncle Ben.
Okay, you're Uncle Ben.
But he dies, no?
Yeah, he dies.
Okay.
He was fine.
Then I'm the Joker.
Okay.
I'm the Joker.
I'm the Black Spider-Man then.
Oh, you're the Black.
The one that,
Yeah.
All right, this is deteriorating as it should, given what you guys have done today. So I'll take some time and say thank you to you three for spending some time with us. I know you guys are hungry, so thank you. Thank you to all the listeners, of course, for tuning in, and those who came out to the live podcast as well. We do appreciate you all listening to the Norwegian Method podcast. Do subscribe if you haven't, and we will be releasing more episodes with you boys pre and post Marbella. We'll have some more stuff coming with Olav as well. So
we have to thank Casper for joining today.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Yeah, thank
mate.
you.
We'll take you anytime you're willing to join us, mate. You're now the Ironman champion,
Yeah.
current reigning Ironman champion. So I did get a text before this saying you'll have to get Casper on more frequently now. So,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks to all of you, and we'll see you next time on the Norwegian Method podcast.
The Norwegian Method. The Norwegian Method.